Alright, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called East Side Kids 1940. I'm giving this 1 out of 5 stars. I hated this flick. And of course, it's another alpha video, public domain. I forgot to put RANT. East Side Kids is a 1940 film and the first in the East Side Kids film series. It is the only one not to star any of the original Dead End Kids. The film was released by producer Sam Katzman. This was also his first project at Monogram Pictures, which he joined shortly after the folding of his company Victory Pictures. Police officer Pat O'Day, a former child of the tenements, tries to reform a gang of street kids by involving them in a boys' police club. When club member Danny Dolan's brother Knuckles is sentenced to death row for killing a treasury agent, played by the great Dave O'Brien, Pat vows to help Danny clear his brother, whom he believes is innocent, but before he can begin his investigation, the police commissioner demotes him to walking a beat. Meanwhile, so you got the Keystone Cops here. A disagreement between the police officer and his commissioner. Meanwhile, a counterfeiting ring composed of Mile Away Harris, a former tenement kid, Morris, and his girlfriend May set up shop in shopkeeper Schmidt's basement. Feeling threatened by Pat, Morris schemes to discredit the policeman by posing as a businessman who wants to hire Pat's boys to distribute advertising leaflets. Unknown to Pat, Morris places bogus $5 bills in the pay envelopes, and when the boys are caught passing fake money, Pat is implicated in the counterfeiting scheme. To prove his innocence, Pat takes to the streets, and Danny, still unaware of Morris's involvement in the counterfeiting ring, agrees to deliver a suitcase for him to May. A policeman follows Danny to May's apartment, where they are greeted by Mile Away, who kills the policeman off camera and takes Danny hostage. The scene that really made me ill is in the gym, where the kids are forced to recite the Pledge of Allegiance, and they're doing the Hitler salute. They're doing this in front of the U.S. flag. I kid you not. I did not make it up. As they drive across town, Danny learns that it was Mile Away who killed the treasury agent and framed Knuckles. Pat tracks down Mile Away's car, and in the ensuing chase, Mile Away escapes. Mile Away kills Schmidt. Mile Away is gun crazy in this one. Played by Dennis. Is it Dennis Moore? A lot of these actors are in Spooks Run Wild. Pat and the kids chase Mile Away to a rooftop where Dutch, Danny's friends, struggles with Mile Away. When they both fall to the sidewalk, Dutch is killed, but Mile Away lives to confess to the agent's murder, and all ends happily as... I guess I'm spoiling the ending here. Let's just say it's a happy ending. The film was originally released on DVD by Alpha Video on June 24th, 2003, and has since been re-released multiple times by a variety of manufacturers. That's because it's public domain. And it's also available on Internet Archive if you don't want to watch it on Cult Cinema Classics. But why would you? East Side Kids, 1940, 1 hour, 2 minutes. Thank God. Gets a okay 5.5 out of 10. On IMDb, 315 ratings. After being falsely accused of murder, a group of kids have to find the real killer in order to clear their name. Here's a more flattering review from Utgard14, who gives it a 5 out of 10. The title of the review on IMDb is technically the first East Side Kids movie, but it really doesn't seem like it. I'll click on that and then I'll scroll down. More like this, Mr. Wise Guy, That Gang of Mine, The Phantom of 42nd Street, and Ghost on the Loose. David Durand is credited in casting, call list, and the AFI catalog as Dutch. The role played by Hal E. Chester was listed as Buster, a character not in the film. Durand was not seen in the film at all, although his name does appear in the screencast. Danny points out to Dutch that his junior police badge has his name on it. Then the camera changes to show him turning over his badge to see his name on it. Pat O'Day is quoted as saying, "I've got to find some way to convince him that it's easier and a whole lot more." Oh, wait. Let's get to this Utgard 14 review on IMDb, dated October 16th, 2017. The title of the IMDb review is technically the first East Side Kids movie, but it really doesn't seem like it. Giving it a 5 out of 10. Pretty halfway decent rating. First film in Monogram's East Side Kids series, although you wouldn't know it at first glance. None of the more recognizable Dead End kids who would make up the ESK during the series and the latter Bowery Boys series are present here. No Leo Gorsey, no Hunts Hall, no Bobby Jordan, no Gabriel Dell even. We do get former Little Tough Guys Harris Berger and Hallie Chester. Whoop-de-doo. The plot to this one has a mustacheless Leon Ames playing a cop trying to nab some grandstanders. The plot to this one has a mustacheless Leon Ames playing a cop trying to nab some gangsters and prove tough guy Knuckles Dave O'Brien is innocent of murder. Knuckles' younger brother is one of the street youths that makes up our title gang. They help Ames prove Knuckles is innocent by nabbing the real killer, gangster Milo A. Harris, great name, played by Dennis Moore. We know Dennis Moore from Spooks Run Wild. Cheap-looking B movie that is surprisingly better than some of the later East Side Kid pictures, although that's nothing to brag about. You can say that again. Worth a look as a time killer, I suppose. Yeah, thanks for wasting 1 hour of my life, plus another 8 minutes of review. Make way for Steve Hercules Reeves, the White Warrior. All right, here we go. Going down the list again. Number one is House by the River, 1950. Number two is The War of the Vendee, 2012. And number three is Code of Silence, 1985. The problem that I had with East Side Kids is that it seems to veer all over the place. It's hard to figure out what's going on. And, and it's definitely the problem with the Pledge of Allegiance is that it was written by a socialist. And so it kind of reminded me of my formerly main church, Star of the Sea, where you get U.S. flags and patriotism and and love of war, mass murder. And so this is during the Depression, I guess, during the war. So you have that kind of patriotism aspect. And yeah. Actually, Pearl Harbor was 41. So it wasn't quite the war, but close. I was close. I got my history off by 1 year. Sorry about that. It was not war. The war happened a year later. All right. So we'll keep going down the list. We'll do Fritz Lang's By the River next. I'm waiting for my chili to cook. Probably won't be ready till 7:30. But I think I could wake up and update my list. I had a pretty nice nap, all things considered. So we're making good time. We're catching up here. Laters.